Kings fans, hockey is back. I feel like I can breathe again. So exciting to be back at Staples Center. Home opener was tonight for our first game of the season. Hasn't happened in a while where it's actually been at home. Hasn't happened in a while where the Kings have won their home opener or season opener. Sure enough, both those things happened tonight simultaneously. Jonathan Quick got a 35 save shutout. Very impressive work from him. For a good deal of time, Trevor Lewis was the LA Kings leading goal scorer. Yes, you heard that right. Trevor Lewis, people. This is how the game is going this season. It's going to be a really interesting way to go for the next 81 games. I'm so excited to be back. So excited that hockey is here and to see what the LA Kings are going to bring. We have a bunch of new players. The ones that stood out to me were Frolin, is probably not how you pronounce it, number 5, a defenseman. Really liked what I saw from him today. He had some good work along the boards. He has a pretty great shot. Had some nice work on the PK there. The Kings had a few too many penalty kills, but we'll get into that. There's a new line of, it's Camilleri, who I always want to say Calamari, but it's not. Camilleri, Brodzinski, and Kempe, which is a beautiful line. They didn't score tonight, but they have a lot of chemistry and a lot of good things I'm seeing from them, being able to read each other and read the plays. I was very, very impressed with them. Let's start at the beginning. We were playing the Flyers, who played last night in San Jose and just kind of smoked them, kind of schooled my boy Martin Jones there, which was not really encouraging. I mean, yes, the teams on the back end of a back-to-back don't tend to play very well, but, you know, it's the second game of the season, so how tired can they be? Not that tired at all. They came out gunning. Their goaltender was just as good as Jonathan Quick tonight. He was absolutely fantastic, and I don't like to give praise to the other team particularly, but seriously, kudos. He was second star of the game, and he absolutely deserved it. The goals that he gave up, as you're going to see, I'm not really putting on him. The second one particularly was nothing to be ashamed of for him at all. So they played Elliott last night. We didn't get to do our fun Elliott chants, but we did have a really, really good time. So the first period, the Kings were playing kind of the way you would expect them to be playing this season. A lot of kind of out shooting, but not anything coming from it. But it wasn't from the place of desperation that they had at the end of last season, where they were just throwing pucks anywhere near the net in the hope to get them just somewhere near the goaltender. This time, it seemed like they were shooting more accurately. They were actually setting up plays. A lot of the play was in our zone, and the only reason it wasn't going anywhere is because their goaltender was so good. So I'm seeing many things from the Kings this season that I wasn't seeing last season that give me a very positive feeling about how they're going to go forward. Kopitar did not score, and oh my God, the last minute of I don't know how he didn't score. He had I think it was Iafolo fed him this beautiful cross-ice pass right in front of the net, and it, like, point blank, should have been a goal. Absolutely should have in the last minute of the first period, and it was not on Kopitar that didn't go in. It was an absolutely stunning save from their goalie, so kudos to him. The whole stadium just went, how is that not in the net? So Kopitar, didn't score, but most of the Kings didn't. There was a very tough checking team. They have a great penalty kill. They also had a pretty good power play towards the end, but that was just the Kings doing that thing where they forget that they actually have to play 60 minutes of hockey. Anyway, so end of the first period, there's no score by either team. It's looking pretty tight either way. Both teams are looking very sharp. It was a good game. It was very exciting. There were definitely chances at either end. Jonathan Quick was being a magician. He earned the first star of the game. He was phenomenal. He had to be at a couple of points. Just a magician to keep him out of the net, and I don't know how he does those splits. Have you seen him? It's just, my legs can't do that. Normal people's legs can't do that. So Quick was on fire, and I think that really kind of spurred the team. It's always great to have him back in net. I mean, you know, first game last season, he's out in the first 20 minutes, and we're all going, oh God, there goes our season. And so to have him be so incredibly sharp for this first game was just wonderful to see. So we go into the second period. Couple of dumb penalties on either side. Their power play was actually very good. Our PK was up to par, though, which is something I very much enjoyed seeing. And then Trevor Lewis does this thing where I don't quite know what happened. It was down the other end of the ice, and everybody's going down really fast, and we're like, it's Trevor Lewis. But he did what Anze Kopitar couldn't do. He took the cross ice pass, and he managed to lift it, I guess, just a little bit up over their goalie's head. And there you have it, guys. The first game of the LA Kings season. Trevor Lewis scores the first goal. He is, for a good chunk of time, the LA Kings leading goal scorer. And it's just so much fun because he is, at the end of every year, the Kings' unsung hero. If he could score like that all the time, he would be, you know, the Anze Kopitar level player. He'd be getting $10 million. It was... I loved watching him play. I loved seeing him get that goal. He looked so happy. The whole team was just completely lifted by that. He then, of course, a couple of minutes later gets a penalty, and we're like, it's cool. It's cool. Leading goal scorer, Trevor Lewis can take a penalty. It's fine. He is our leading goal scorer. Great PK on our end for that. The end of the second period with a minute 46 remaining, Trevor Lewis takes a high stick to the head, has to go off, is bleeding, so it's a double minor for the Flyers. And we're just crying with, whoa, our leading goal scorer is going down and may not be coming back. We're kidding, of course he's coming back. It was fine. It was nice to get the double minor. Of course, the Kings did nothing with it because that's how they roll. Came out, I mean, actually pretty strong. The fact that we had a little over 2 minutes of a power play kind of helped to set up the momentum of the third period. But nothing was really happening either direction until the Kings decided, it's cool. You know, 15 minutes left of the game. We're up 1-0. We got this. Yeah, they didn't got this. They started taking stupid penalties. Doughty took a penalty kind of around the time where they had about 7 shots on goal, or the last 7 shots on goal. And the Kings were like, oh, that's bad. I guess we should start playing some hockey. Except they didn't, because then Trevor Lewis got a penalty immediately following Drew Doughty's penalty. And it was just kind of about 10 minutes in the middle of the period where you just wanted to scream in frustration at them. 60 minutes, guys. 60 minutes of hockey you have to play. And, you know, sometimes 65, but just close out a game. Close out a game. And they almost got back into bad habits, which was very concerning. But they managed to pick themselves up out of it. And that led to the second goal of the game, which was, I mean, gorgeous. Absolutely stunning. So Carter is kind of on his own. The defenseman makes a bad read, and it's just Carter, and he looks over and he sees he's got Tyler there. That 70s line, by the way, was beautiful tonight. They have fantastic chemistry, as always. It was so great to see them in top form. So the Kings actually had 4 solid lines tonight. It was Kopi, Brown, and I want to say Iafolo on the top line, and then that 70s line, and then the Brodzinski line I was talking about earlier, and then Cliffy had his line, and somehow Lewis was on the Clifford line, and they were the one that scored the first goal. But anyway, Carter does this beautiful thing. He's out there, and I love that when he looked up, it wasn't to see if Toffoli was there. Like they knew he knew he was. He knew that his partner was out there and he had his back. It was just to see where the defensemen were going to be setting up. They shared this look. They're like, we know, we got this. We totally got this. The Flyers are kind of scrambling to catch up. The defenseman kind of makes this diving play, and the stick handling of Jeff Carter in this moment is just beautiful. It's just stunning. So he gets it around, and Tyler, of course, he's not going to miss at that range. And how do you fault their goaltender on that? That's totally the defense letting him down, because you get a player like Jeff Carter and then a sniper like Tyler Toffoli. That play's going in. And it did, and the crowd goes wild, and the Kings get their momentum back for the last 5 minutes of the game, which they desperately needed by the end of that. Flyers tried to pull their goalie with a couple minutes left, but ended up getting penalty with maybe 25.2 seconds left. So, the game's going to the Kings, and we know it for the good last 2 minutes of the game. Well, maybe not 2 minutes, but you know it for a while. Like, it was feeling good. The Kings were solid. Their system is on point, in check. I don't know what I'm trying to say. There are just so many positive things to come out of the game. The Kings this season seem to really be on top of their system. They've got great chemistry. They've got great communication. And when our top players are in form like they are tonight, it's going to yield good results. So I'm so excited to be back. I'm so excited to see what else they can do. But for now, guys, enjoy the fact that the Kings are undefeated in the 2017-28 season.